Great Thothian Betrayal. The disastrous hidden histories of the Ascension Timeline Rebellion recorded in the planetary matrix from this time period contain the causal seed event of the Great Thothian Betrayal and subsequent stages of negative alien agenda groups' invasion. When angelic humanity and Earth's resources first became transactional commodities to be used by the intruder groups in their well-established galactic slave trading and bartering system. Yet, because this tragic event began 22,000 years ago and reached its pinnacle during the Atlantean cataclysm, many humans are totally unaware that we are considered tradable commodities, both on and off-planet. We have been repeatedly mind-wiped, brainwashed, and ritually abused to forget who we are from the many cataclysmic resets, DNA unplugging, and erroneously absurd historical accounts given to explain away our advanced angelic human culture that existed before we became slaves, after the Ice Age floods. Thus, the Ascension Timeline Rebellion is a significant marker in the hidden historical timelines of planetary invasion, as it is when assorted negative alien agenda group factions began to exchange treaties on and off-planet, which included the systematic hunting down of Magi Grail line angelic humans for extermination, especially those that were from lineages of the Blue Flame Melchizedek Templars protecting the planetary network. There was no warning to hide or prepare when the Great Thothian Betrayal gave our enemies all they needed to take us over, as the full-scale planetary invasion was launched from the interdimensional planes and space, which rained down electromagnetic destruction in the form of fires, explosions, earthquakes, and floods. Directing technological weapons designed for the maximum impact of grid damage and destabilization unleashed the mass destruction of the holographic structures of the sun-star networks connected to the sacred portals, stargates, ley lines, sundials, temples, and cathedrals across the planet. The negative alien agenda groups has failed in their objectives to prevent the planetary ascension that is currently underway. However, Guardian Host and ground crew are in the process of clearing out the miasmatic heaps of dead energy, archontic parasite nests, superimposed karmic loads, repairing grid networks damaged by AI machinery, evictions of assorted alien factions, and related cleanup crew spiritual work connected to this string of tragic events when humanity was turned into a slave race 22,000 years ago. Ioni Massacre and Essene breeding programs. Reference from historical timeline trigger events. Approximately 22,000 years ago, Ioni Massacre, Essene breeding, and Emerald Tablet. Females taken to Nibiru by Thothian for forced breeding. Thoth stole CDT plate. Wrote down Emerald Tablet. Trigger timeline for Hermeticism. Esoteric Kabbalah, mystery schools, and secret societies formed to hide ancient knowledge from the common people. With the return of the 11th tribe Atlantean dragon Queen Merida, the triple solar Raisha that embodies the original Emerald founder records for the Celtic Arthurian Grail lines, the timeline wars, clearings, and spiritual body retrievals have been focused upon the cluster of timeline trigger events that were set into motion during the Ascension Timeline Rebellion approximately 22,000 years ago. With the recent revelations concerning the return of Atlantean solar dragon Queen Merida, it was registered that the Ioni Massacre events began with her capture from her high position entrusted to protect the 11th Stargate network. They had to destroy her in order to seize major territories in the Atlantean colonies, which was carried out through the ultimate Thothian betrayal. The deception was carried out by a high-ranking Anunnaki outwardly representing to protect the Blue Flame Melchizedek's Law of One records and a trusted member of her Emerald Order Council that opened the door for Marduk's forces to slaughter them. Thoth carried out the masquerade until he reached the ascension initiation of an 11th layered flame body, while he covertly formed the Brotherhood of the Snake with the Niburian Anunnaki in order to gain control over the Emerald Founder records that Merida embodied and protected. This gruesome event led to her being taken to Nibiru for a complete genetic dissection in order to sever her head, heart, and embodied hierogamic connections to her husband, through which they utilized AI technology to translate sections of the CDT plate and harvest coded intelligence from her body parts, which she had been entrusted to protect for the 12 Essene tribes, angelic humanity. This event signifies the fall of the solar dragon queens, or universal solar female Melchizedek, as once the Thothian Niburians had captured and killed the 11th tribe solar dragon queen of Atlantis, with the help of Marduk, the planetary grid network which she protected within her embodied hierogamic auric field with her husband collapsed. As the result, with them disposed of, it was easier to flesh out, capture and slay all of the others Melchizedeks, protecting the stargates and global grid system that were embodied in supporting positions all over the planet. Thothian betrayal of 11th tribe Essenes. Once again, those Essene tribes on the ground did not realize that both Thuban's star and the 11th Stargate had been invaded as the result of the 11th tribe CDT plate being stolen along with Thoth's betrayal of the Melchizedeks, until the Celtic massacres and hunting down the Melchizedeks became painfully evident. Their Christos avatar consciousness was embodying the organic crystal architecture of emerald dragon timekeepers in the cosmic clock of the eons that was covertly hidden throughout the 11D Albion Lightbody network within many holographic features, such as in Malta, to be discovered later and reclaimed for the current final conflict timeline of the Christos mission. Thothian Leviathan Anti-HG AI Cube System. Red Trident. Anti-HG technology is short for anti-hierogamic technology, which is a gender splitter weapon that has been identified by grid workers, which note that it has impacts upon the light body and is a form of targeting individuals with assorted electronic harassment designed for mind control. This technology targets starseed or indigo groups that are embodying sacred marriage or hierogamic union, generally targeting spiritual couples that are motivated to serve the Christos mission and support planetary liberation for ascension. Thothian Luciferians. The Thothian Luciferians and their allies are organizing the next stages of planned takeover of all New Age, Ascension, and Disclosure communities through planned infiltration, with their specific grooming of an assortment of Pied Pipers. This controlled opposition agenda will also extend to any 3D organizations and public leaders with some power and influence that are connecting the larger towards seeing and understanding the key players that are embedded in multiple levels of planetary corruption, such as the gaslighting and propaganda schemes that exist in the many facades of the geopolitical climate that are used as cover-ups to veil the exopolitical conflicts.